You are so done of playing the good girl. You're ready to own yourself and live your life as the bad bitch. You want to travel the world. You want to have time freedom. You want to be your own boss, have your own business, serve those who you want to serve. You want to have the option of working with people that you want to work with. I totally get you. And I also know that you've been trying, and maybe many of you have been struggling. Maybe some of you have been making it and you're the bad bitch. But many of you have been struggling. More of you are oscillating between your job and your business. Some of you have gone all in your business, but you're afraid, you're unable to sustain the same consistency. You are not really growing the way you want to. You are stagnating. You've been trying manifesting. You've been trying different kinds of strategies, maybe your mastermind, leveraging AI, whatever you've been doing right now. I'm going to ask you to pause because I'm going to talk to you about the most common reason why people do not make it in their business. Hopefully this video will give you the answer that you've been looking for. And yes, it is absolutely related to becoming the bad bitch. It's a very specific but also a crucial aspect of being the bad bitch successfully. Not just cosplaying with a look or pretending to be the dark feminine or having harsh boundaries, pushing people away, cutting them off. That is not the bad bitch. That's the good girl being the try hard. That's a good girl cosplaying. That's a good girl wearing mom's makeup. The real bad bitch has this skill, and that's where she gets what she wants. And this is basically professionalism. Now, all of you are saying, oh, I'm a professional, but the professionalism I'm talking about is business mindset, okay? And it's very difficult for me to be frank because I don't want to push you guys away because this information is going to help you. But if you weren't a good employee, you're not going to be a good entrepreneur. Are we still together? You still here? If you're not a good employee, you're not going to be a good entrepreneur. So how do you know if you're a good employee? Several ways. A good employee is somebody who thinks like the business owner, not like the employee. An employee is there to take a salary, trade time in for their money. They're there to hope and wish that the employer will carry them, so they don't really have to face the marketplace capitalism, okay? The employee also has a lot of expectations for the employer, not realizing what it takes to face capitalism. The employee is a workhorse. Well, some people are not workhorses, but basically they just think that hard work is supposed to give them the results that they want, which is not true, and that's not how business works. So let's look at this from a different perspective again, where if you have an employee mindset in a business, you don't think long-term, you don't think about allocating resources appropriately, you don't think from a business perspective of why certain boundaries are needed. Boundaries are also professionalism, and also what kinds of proactive actions you need to take, which is assertion, to create long-term results, not just short-term cash flow. So a good employee is somebody like in a leadership position oftentimes, because those people do get moved up frequently, because if you display that kind of mindset, any business will absolutely love you. Because as a business owner, your boss or bosses or business owner, like if you're in a big corporation, get the idea. The people at the top love to see somebody who is competent, who also has the business mindset and thinks in the best interest of the business, the entity. An employee who's a bad employee will look at what can I get from this, and they will try to treat the business like it's a place where they can come and take. I gave you this work. I did my time here. It's like it's jail or something. I have no passion, no care for this work, and I'm just gonna take the money and go. I don't really have to think about the consequences of how my actions, my carelessness, my lack of attention to detail, my impulsivity, all of those things affect the business and the funds, the resources, the culture of the business. That's a bad employee. And a lot of times employees are never trained to think like a business owner, and that's why they're employees. And this is generational. It's through the school system that you just have to sit down and do the work and hand it in, and then you're gonna get something back. You're gonna be able to sustain your livelihood. But when it comes to running your own business, you can't be in that mindset anymore. You cannot be in a business with an employee mindset. So when you have an employee mindset, you treat every space that you go into as if it exists for you. You go in there and you overshare with your colleagues. You go in there wanting a raise without really showing, okay, I am able to deliver better results. I'm able to minimize risk. I'm able to deliver higher quality work. There's no such standards that you hold yourself to. You just look at how many hours I spent and how hard it was me to do this work. Or they look at the business and say, you have money, so why aren't you paying me more? That is a very unprofessional mindset because it is anti-business. You're not contributing extra to the growth and the risk management of the business, but you want more money because you somehow feel entitled to deserve it. I know a lot of people are going to come at me and say, hey, this is like an oppressive way of being. If you relate to the business owner, you're being one of them. But if you want freedom, you are wanting to be one of them. But then your mindset of the good girl is holding you back and saying, people who think like that are bad people. They're my oppressors. But if you want to become time-free, you want to travel the world, you want to have great experiences and have leisure, then you're wanting to be in that category that you look down on and are judging. Okay, this is your money block. This is your money block. And if you're not seeing the business that you're building or that you're in, that you are creating, from the perspective of this entity being an entity that is separate from you, that you need to grow as an asset, then you need to project long term, you need to understand the market, you need to look at other aspects, not just treating the business as if it's a cash cow or a bank account or a trust fund. I met entrepreneurs who were able to generate quite good revenues, and then they treat their business like a trust fund, and then they deplete the whole business because they're coming from a place of not building but taking. That kind of mindset is not able to create systems that will support long-term success. You will not look at the market and how it's changing. You will not look at improvements. You only look at, if I just do this one thing, the world should open up to me. Or if I just figure this one little aspect out or apply this software, then I deserve to be rewarded. Or even if you are working for a business, let's say that you're doing sales or something like that, you think, oh, I can close some sales, so I deserve the world now. Or if you have some good track record, you think that you're done learning, right? So there's a very fixed mindset of looking at things, because what you're not seeing from the employer's perspective or from the businesses, let's say business is a person, the business, the entity is a thing, but let's say it's a person. From the business's perspective, you are not being a good professional because of your fixed mindset, you're not looking at all the lack areas that are actually causing a lot of risks to the business, depletion, and you are actually making the business lose money. So a professional, a good professional, and a successful entrepreneur will be looking at those areas and gaps and fixing those issues. A business owner is a problem solver. If you're not solving problems for other people, you're not getting paid. If you're not efficiently and sufficiently solving problems for a business, then you don't have value. It's not about just getting in there and doing the work. It's not about doing time like you're in jail. So if you're carrying this kind of mindset, then it doesn't matter how much manifesting you do. It doesn't matter what books you read, unless you focus on business generating activities and do risk management and look at long-term trajectory. And you need to be a builder while taking into account the different aspects of accounting, asset allocation, and making business decisions. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs in my coaching program, and one of the biggest issues they have is that when they were an employee, they never saw any of this stuff that they're seeing as an entrepreneur, because they were also in the employee mindset as an employee. They never thought of seeing the business from a perspective of capitalism and what it needs and it requires, and you needing to match that. They saw themselves as a place to go and get paid, have social time with colleagues, eat, when they offer some kind of party, take a bunch of those food home. They saw it as a place where they need to take and where they're supposed to be taken care of. And then that comes with a lot of entitlement. If you have that kind of mindset, you are a bad employee, period. They're just using you to fulfill a role that you need to fulfill, because they need people to work certain roles, to the job descriptions, to get the outcome. And that's it. You're not valuable to them. When you think like a business owner, you become valuable to them. So at that point, you can become a business owner and you do a much better job and start getting results in a way that you wouldn't have if you were operating from a employee mindset. There were times that I've worked with clients who are working with a small team, and when they start to notice that the business is growing and making money, all of them suddenly want a raise. Like a business owner has gone to get sponsorship or something like that, the business is growing, suddenly everybody wants a raise. That is a bad employee. What have you added? And not realizing that business accounting is not like personal income. The business owner has to look at different aspects of allocating those funds to grow the business, because capitalism is nasty and ruthless. At any moment, something can hit, and the business needs to have a lot of reserves, and it needs to start investing within the business. The business is a complete separate entity from the business owner. So if you're the business owner and you don't treat your business that way, or if you're an employee and you see the business from a perspective of they owe me because they can do more, then you come across very entitled and fixed-minded, and you're not going to get the results you want. Okay? Whether you're an employee, you're not going to be liked, you're not going to be respected, you're not going to be significant. And as a business owner, you're just not going to get the results that you want because of the way you're treating your own business. I hope this helped a lot of you. Close some gaps in areas of realizations where you perhaps have never come across. It is very common for new entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs who never leave that new phase, even after 5 years of being in business, to never realize this. But you need to. You need to be a leader and not a worker. The bad bitch is a leader. I always make that clear. The bad bitch is not a costume you put on. It's not somebody who wants to command the world without earning it. You need to earn your position of freedom, respect, and power. To do that, you need to be a power player in capitalism. And this is the beginning of the mindset that you need to embody to become that power player. Thanks so much for watching. If you're interested in working with me, then go down to the description to find the options. You can either join our membership group, or you can join our social elegance coaching program, the coaching program, which is a group cohort where you learn different aspects of intersectional intelligence and how you must show up as a leader to get the results that you want and become much better in navigating capitalism and getting the results that you want, being effective. If you're interested in that, then go to the social elegance presentation, and then you can come to our next info session. If you are interested in Be Seen, Get Paid, which is our business program, then you need to first go through Unleash Social Elegance, the group cohort that I just mentioned, before